Okay, so what I want to do now is talk about the top 5 broad niches that I've advertised in and I've had some success with. What I mean by broad is these are very broad and you can dive in and you can figure out subcategories and all that sort of stuff if you like. So I'm going to run through them, give you the reasons why I think they're still big sellers, and there's lots of other ones I could have put in here like pets and all that, but I've had most of my success out of these niches. So I want to talk about survival first. It's a very saturated niche. It's probably one of the most saturated niches around, but the reason it's saturated is because people are still making money from it. It still works, and saturation, really, I don't believe in it, because if you go into a saturated niche with and you have a product that you test and it wins and you can brand yourself out, you can start dominating that niche, you're going to get sales. So I don't really believe in saturation. I've talked about it on YouTube and stuff. So survival, I do very well in survival. I have a store based around that. We do the torches, we do the phone charger, which is probably more, we have better luck in fishing and hunting, but it's survival as well. But survival is still a huge niche, and don't be scared to dive into it. Just because it's saturated doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. And to be honest, saturation is a good sign, because we know that there's products in there that are working. We know that there's people in there selling products. So survival is a very good niche. Dive in there, kind of, subcategories to that will be like preppers and all that sort of stuff. I went kind of broad with survival. I just went survival when I sold my gear, but just dive in there and see what you can find. But it's still a very good niche to dive into. There's absolutely nothing wrong with survival. Fishing, I have a lot of success in this. It's a $41 billion industry and it's growing fast. If you go on YouTube now, there's YouTube fishing channels that are growing at an absolutely insane rate. I'm talking hundreds and thousands of subscribers each month these guys are getting. Fishing is absolutely massive now. It is growing so fast because of these YouTube channels. They're doing lots of sponsor deals with lure products. So, if you don't know much about me, I actually have my own lure brand here in New Zealand, and we do very well with that, advertising to trout fishermen and salmon fishermen. So fishing is a huge industry, and that's $41 billion just in America. That doesn't include the rest of the world. It is an absolutely insanely fast growing industry. Just here in New Zealand, in our main harbour in Auckland here, on a good summer's day, there's around about 7,000 boats on the water. About 4 or 5 years ago, it used to be half that. It is just an insane, it really is just growing at a fast rate, and it is be a good idea to hop onto fishing now. It is very hard to sell particular fishing products. Lures are hard to sell. But if you can build yourself a brand in that industry, or do fishing t-shirts, are very popular. We did very well with those. But fishing is a very fast growing niche, rapidly growing, and it's not slowing down. Go on YouTube and Google bass fishermen. You'll see heaps of influencers on YouTube, heaps of influencers on Instagram. Fishing is definitely, let's drop something then. Fishing is definitely a very good niche to get into. Hunting is another very fast growing niche, and it is very successful on Instagram. If you go on Instagram, you'll see in this course I have a video of me showing you some of my Instagram chats with some profiles that I used. They were mostly hunting ones. So you've got your outdoor pages on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. Hunting is very good. Night vision binoculars. I know a guy that did very well with those. One of his photos got over 200,000 shares. He did very well with night vision binoculars, selling to the hunting niche. So dive in there, see what you can do. Like deer hunting, very popular. So hunting is a very fast growing niche, and once again, it's not slowing down. It's like fishing. You see, in today's world, people are coming across a lot more money. So people are becoming entrepreneurs more. They are, graduating college faster. They are just bringing in more money. So they have more money to spend on their hobbies like fishing, hunting, tennis, whatever they're into. People seem to have more money now. It's really, I've noticed that around, I don't know if it's the millennial thing, but I notice a lot of people have more money and they're spending it in these niches, in their hobby niches. A friend of mine does wakeboarding. He just spent $4,000 on wakeboarding gear, and he's thinking about buying a $40,000 wakeboarding boat. So, and he's classed as a millennial. So am I. But millennials want things now. They want, they spend money to get things now. This is a perfect time to be advertising in these niches. So this is another fast-growing niche, very successful on Instagram. We've had a lot of success on Instagram with hunting. Like, you know what? If you go and take my phone charger that I talked about in this module, you'll see it after this video probably. If you take that, you build a store around it, and you go into Instagram and you find some hunting and outdoor pages, and you promote that product for around about $30 to $39, like I did. I did $39. You're going to make money. You will make money. That really comes down to it. It did burn out for us a little bit, but I guarantee if you go in there, you will make a sale. You'll make at least one sale if that's what you did. Went into hunting pages and advertised the solar phone charger that I show you in this module. Depends on how you do your adverts, copy out your captions and all that. But I've showed there's a sample of a caption in the video that I talk about my 6-figure phone charger product. But hunting, man, and Instagram, very, very big. Also very big on Facebook. Kitchen and like home and kitchen stuff. So like you've got your watermelon slices, your herb scissors. These are very passionate audiences, mothers that are very passionate about their cooking and stuff. Older people, they like baking, and there's a lot of problem-solving items in this niche. Like your watermelon slicer, that's a big problem solver. Your herb scissors, big problem solver. Garlic crusher, big problem solver. A huge niche for problem-solving products. So I haven't done extremely well in this niche, but I did add it in because I have made sales, I have made profit. But the reason I haven't done very well is because I haven't really tried in that niche. I have stuck to the ones that I know, like my fishing and my hunting. But there is a lot of potential in the home and kitchen niche. There really is a lot of potential in the home and kitchen niche. Now we've got our phone accessories. We are obsessed with our phones. We are obsessed. People line up outside the Apple stores for days on end to get these phones. We are obsessed with protecting our phones. We are obsessed with bedazzling our phones. Phone accessories do very, very well. Cases with dogs on them, cats on them, cases that are very specific to something. Now, I've also I have done well in the phone accessories a long time ago. I don't really do much of it now. But it's there's so many options. You can dive in. You can sell magnetic phone chargers. You can sell phone cases. You can sell screen protectors. You can sell rugged phone cases in the hunting niche. You can sell rugged phone cases in the fishing niche, right? So you start to cross your niches up. This really is you can do lots of combinations with phone stuff because you can sell phone accessories to different niches. You can do pet phone cases in the pet niche, right? So there's really a lot you can dive down to in that. So that's definitely in the top 5 for me because you can cross your niches with other niches in the phone. You can cross the phone accessory niche with other niches like your fishing and what I talked about. So dive into these, have a look, go on AliExpress, see what you can find. But I just want to give you a bit of help here that these are the top 5 that I've made money in. And don't worry about saturation, guys. I see a lot of people in the Facebook group, this is saturated, I'm not going to make any money. They're saturated for a reason because people are making money in those niches. You need to look at it as a positive. It's like when people spam in Facebook groups and spam online with like all those make money online courses and all that, the get rich quick schemes. Do you know why they do that? Because it works. Spam works, and saturated markets are working. People are making money in those markets. Now, I do believe in saturation of a product. So there's kind of different, like saturation of a niche and saturation of a product is a complete different story. Saturation of a niche is when there's heaps of people in that niche trying to sell specific products and it's getting saturated. A saturated product is when a bunch of people sell a product so much that people don't want to buy it anymore. Now, I believe in saturation when it comes to a particular product. The headlamps were on Facebook. They did very, very well in the hunting niche and they kind of burnt out. They might do well again later on, but the headlamps did get burnt out. That is a saturated product. So don't get confused with saturated product and saturated niches. Because I could go into the survival niche right now. I could find a product and I guarantee you I could probably get a winner out of it if I put the work in. Because just because the niche is saturated doesn't mean my particular product is saturated. Saturation in the niche is good. Saturation in a product is bad. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Saturation product isn't really bad because I do say, sell products that are selling. But when I'm talking about saturated products, I'm talking about products that have been thrashed for months, years on end. Like, I think the headlamp I was talking about was getting thrashed for nearly 2 years, right? So, and then, even then, if it gets thrashed for 2 years, have a rest for 6 months, then if you try it, and if people start trying it again, it's probably going to work. But just make sure you know the difference between a saturated niche and a saturated product. These are my top 5. Dive in, have a look, and now we'll jump into the next video.